And welcome to the Hiredgun Podcast with your host, the Hiredgun. First, like, subscribe, share. How you doing, y'all? I really thought about coming on here earlier than I am right now. But, sometimes shit work shit works in different ways for you, Because if I would have came on and talked about wrestling and what I was going to talk about, I wouldn't have had this good conversation I had with C. Carson today, right? And yesterday, when I took off, um, decided to come on today and decided to come on today instead of yesterday, I wouldn't have had the good conversation I had with Ryan. Because I'm always talking about wrestling. I'm always watching wrestling, regardless if I got a day off or not. So, or I'm not on here. I'm always talking about wrestling, or thinking about wrestling, or watching wrestling. So, and both of these topics I'm gonna talk about on here. So, we might be here for a minute. Get my drink here right quick. So, first, I'm gonna talk about NXT and and NXT is leading into my first topic with Ryan. And then we're talking about AEW. Uh, and then I'm gonna talk about what me and talking with Tarzan we're talking about afterwards, because nothing really leads into that. Or maybe I won't. Or maybe it'll lead into the other topic where we'll see. We'll see. So NXT was a good show, and it was because of the women. Now, when I got off Tuesday, right? Ryan asked me, was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. When I got off Tuesday, Ryan asked me a question. He asked me, do I think that Tatum Paxley was gonna lose? And I had to think about it, and I said no at first because the pay-per-view's coming up in 2 weeks. So why not just drop the belt then? If she was on lose, because I couldn't say uh, it's too soon. It's not time. Because truth be told, Tatum should have lost that belt a couple times, and it would have been okay. Now, I was saying no because of the pay per view. Why? Like it's too soon for the pay per view. Like, and Tatum and Tony D have been defending their belts for a minute now. Mainly because they don't have to worry about a pay per view, which to just say something did. So I was saying nah, but I also said that I wouldn't be surprised if she did. All right, because she can drop the belt now, and it's okay because it did its job with her. She has more wins than she has losses now. Alright, and and before and after she won that belt, alright, she had two things as records, right? She won that belt, the women's North American belt, and the NXT women's belt, all right. And she had more losses than wins, all right, than wins did. Okay, so now she don't. Now you see how I just gave you stats and everything. So I knew going in when NXT started on Tuesday night, right? I knew I had a feeling she was gonna lose then, okay? Because she was the main event. All right, that was one, and then they started naming off these useless like stats, but useless stats in the beginning. And once they start doing shit like that, it's time. All right, because he started naming off that she hasn't been pinned and dot 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 days. then he named off that she that how long she's been champion, and she is the only person who's yeah, yeah, we can lead it into with the top of authority too. And then the only person who's holding the belt longer than her right now is Penta. Right? So I was like, oh, okay. She losing. And she lost. Now, um, Taylor lost the belt um to Silver's tag team partner, old tag team partner. Um, see, I almost said Zoe. Why am I drawing a blank on her? Why am I drawing a blank on her? Hold on, yeah, hold on. Zaria, right? And now, this is when I'm gonna lead into what me and Ryan was talking about afterwards. So, Ryan said that she, Zaria is gonna be a double champ. Like she's gonna hold a heavyweight championship and a North American championship at the same time. And I I'm I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't. She's not Stephanie. And they're not gonna build her up like that. Now, I'm not saying they're not gonna build her up strong because they are building her up strong now. And it's time to build her up strong now. So I agree with Ryan to a certain extent about how they're gonna build her. Right? But she's not going to be double champ. And I also agree that as strong as the women's division is right now, it's the weakest it's ever been. Right? So I agree with when he says no one's going to beat her 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, there's ways to get around that, of pinning her. Okay? Fatal 3 ways, fatal 4 ways, DQs. Some of these things to take the belt off her. Some of these things can't. All right, like a DQ can't. Like a DQ win can't take the belt off her. All right. A count out can't take the belt off her. All right. So, but there's ways to get the belt off her. All right, and the main story for Zaria was she couldn't win the big one. Right? That was the main story here. Right? And the main story is that she wanted to capture the North American title because that's the title that Soul had. Because the first thing she did when she won that belt is flip off Soul. Right? Right? Now, mind you, the same aura that Zoro Ryan did have a comeback for this, right? Like the same aura that that she has, Ova had in NXT. Now, mind you, Ova has 3 losses on his belt. 2 from the same person, Tony D, right, and 1 from Ricky Saint. And now I agree that the Ricky Saint win should have never fucking happened. It should have not, especially for 2 reasons on why it should have never happened. Because Ricky Singh, after that, Ricky Singh acted like he didn't beat him. And in every promo, it sounded like he shouldn't have beat him, right? And then after that, Oba got the belt back, and then he just dropped it. I mean, he just like dropped the belt. He didn't get pinned. He didn't submit. He just dropped the belt after he won his last match. So saying that, like there's ways for her to lose. Right? There's ways. Now, again, the women's division is still stacked, but it's less stacked than it was. Right? You don't have a Julia, you don't have a Stephanie Vaquera, you don't have a Jordan Grace. You don't, because if Jordan Grace was down there, I would say Jordan Grace would beat her. You don't have a Blake Monroe down there. You don't have a JCJ who beat her. You know. Um, Now he also said that what's her name? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now on these names. Um, so we talked about somebody else on the NXT right quick. Kendall Gray. Now he said that Kendall Gray is not winning uh, the the world title or a title, silver title in 3 months, less than 3 months. Now, I told y'all the pay per view it's in 2 weeks. Now, I feel like she's gonna be, um, um, I feel like she's gonna be Lola Vice. I can't guarantee it because, you know, what's her name? Tiana Jordan is still lurking because you know what? Her and Kendall had a real good match Tuesday, like a real good match. Like, probably match of the week, for Tuesday because they had a real good match. But you know, Tiana Jordan, her her personality. Even when she loses, she gets her get back. Now, usually, she don't waste no time. She get it in the back of like in the back of the like she'll lose, and then as soon as they have another statement, she's already attacked the person she lost to. She's done that several times. All right, that's her mo. Or she interferes in the match. Now, hopefully, if it's 1-on-1 and it's Lola Vice versus Kendall, Kendall's gonna win. Right? And I'm not knocking Lola Vice as a champ, not doing that, but she had a happy moment, like she did. Right? And she's a double champ right now. All right? She and she travels to AAA. All right? Because she's a champ over there. All right? And she's the women's champ over here in the NXT. She might lose. She might lose. Now, um, another thing that happened on NXT, like with Tatum losing, she was saying about the crowd, and she was very emotional. She's getting called up. She's getting called up. So we'll see what happens with that. After that, so let me just go ahead and like since we're going with the whole call up situation. So, um, Carlton brought up Chad Gable and the wrestling with him, and I feel like me and Ryan feel like uh, I'm gonna say Carlton too because this is not where we disagree at. He's gonna win the IC title. Like, there's no question he's gonna win the IC title. And now, uh, the difference between me and Carlton on this is he likes him as a heel, which I'm not saying that Chad doesn't play a good heel because he plays a good heel. He plays a good face too, you know. But I think, and then he's put the whole, and this is not the first person who said this. So like about Penta not being the person he beats, it has to be Penta. Like it has to be Penta. Like they wouldn't put the you said out here about Penta beating him and beating Chad in his debut, alright, for nothing, not for shits and giggles, right? Like so, it has to be Pinter. And it doesn't matter that both of them are face. It does not matter at all. And and the reason for that is Pinter's challenging everybody. He's challenging everybody, face or heel. He just fought Ray Monday, and he asked for that match. He fought Dragon Lee. Uh, uh, he's fought um, Javon Evans. All these people are faces, right? And he's sprinkling some heels here and there. Right? So he's fighting everybody. Now, again, if he loses to Ethan Page, I'm okay with it because it's time, right? But that doesn't give Ethan Page that long to roll with the IC title there because Chad's getting that belt, right? Like Chad's getting that. Now, I'm gonna say what I said to Carson a little while ago. I'm okay with him apologizing to everybody, right? I'm also like I'm even okay with him apologizing to to Afro Academy, right? Right? As long as he doesn't stay with Afro Academy, like you don't need that. Leave Otis and Ottawa or whatever his name is. I was saying earlier, right, the last 2 days, like Tozawa, all right, like leave them niggas where they at. Right? They're not gonna do anything with them. Right? And Chad's beneath that shit. Right? Let them apologize. Let them pump them up and gaslight them niggas. Right? And then move on. Move the fuck on after that. Right? Because Chad is a star. Right? Right? Like on the court like the course to being a star to almost someone would say a mega star. Alright? And this is when we lead into cards and what we talked about today. So the other question he asked was this was the third question. The first question was just about what is the problem with today's wrestling. The easy answer to that is TKO. Yeah, we can just move on from that shit. Alright. So the third question he asked was how do we make mega stars? Right? And Tarzan named off certain people like Austin, Eddie Guerrero, uh, Kurt Angle, Taker, um, The Rock, right? Then we named Big Show. And this is when we differed. Right? And then I wasn't going to bring up Kane because of the fact that Kane to me is not a mega star either. Alright? But Big Show's not a mega star to me. Alright? Do you know who he is? Yes. Alright? Can you push him? Yes. So far. Man, you can't push him now because that nigga can't move no more. Alright? Like he's lost weight and his knees are shot right now. But like before that, now when WCW pushed him and was saying he was under the Giant's son, right? Right, that was the biggest push Big Show has ever gotten. Did it? And we talked about this shit too, you know, like making it stick, making the aura stick to being a megastar, and making fans not get tired of it. The aura didn't stick with Big Show. You know, yeah, like was he a superstar? Yes. Did you know him? Yes. But he wasn't Kevin Nash. He wasn't Scott Hall. Right? Right? He wasn't Taker. He wasn't Rey Mysterio Jr. He wasn't Eddie. He wasn't Kurt Angle. He wasn't Sting. Now, is there levels to this? Because he said that too. Like, yeah, there's levels to this, right? And there's levels to who to being the megastar, right? Right? Because some are not equal to others, right? True, true. But he's not. He's not a megastar to me. Like he's not. He is a superstar. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. Is he a qualified first ballot? No, no, because he would be in right now. Regardless of what he's doing with AEW, he will be in right now. And maybe that's hurting him because he's with AEW. It didn't hurt badass Billy Gunn from getting in. Nah, by himself he didn't get in. And Billy Gunn's not a mega star. He's a superstar. There's jobbers, there's rookies, there's jobbers, there's stars, there's superstars, and there's mega stars. And then there's franchise players. Alright? That are the franchise guys. Like Cody, Roman, Cena, The Rock and Stone Cold. We go like that. Okay? But Bishop's not a megastar. Like he's not. You know, now I kind of backtracked on Kane because if Kane can be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is iffy, if because a lot of Kane's work is with Taker, who elevated Kane to where he's at. All right, but if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm not mad at it. Which he's not because he hasn't got in. All right, but like because I don't know, I don't know, I don't know about King. Don't know about King. That's a iffy thing right there for me. Right, but Big Show's not a Hall of Fame. I mean, Big Show's a Hall of Fame. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's not a mega star to me. Like he's not. He's not. Like I don't think of Big Show is that. Like he's not in my top 10 megastars. Not my top 20. Like he's not. Like and it's not because he had the belt. Well, I mean he's been champ a couple times. All right, you know, so it's not that. It's just the fact I don't think of him as a megastar. That's all. I don't. So let me get an AEW right quick before I go. AEW was okay. I felt like and it wasn't the wrestling last night because Swerve and Ray King had a real good match. Who was that a good match? Orange Cassidy and Andrade had a good match. Pac and Mark Briscoe had a good match too. But this felt like no lie, this felt like a collision episode and not a dynamite episode. But it was an okay show. Like I got my wrestling fix out of it. You know, Shane Taylor and Moxley had a physical match. I mean, look, again, I got my wrestling fix out of it, but it felt like I would watch this sitting on the Saturday night from AEW. It really just felt like a collision night because like Swerve was there, yes, and Moxley was there, yes, but they all was there. Right? Will Ospreay wasn't there. He didn't wrestle. Some of the heavy hitters were in there. It was like after a pay per view for AEW. But it was but again, I got my wrestling fix out of it though. You know, so there's that. I got my wrestling fix out of it, and that's what matters though. And then you know, the two people in the finals for the men's side, we got it's Swerve versus Will Ospreay. you know, sometimes being sometimes when shit is predictable, people complain, right? And sometimes when shit's not predictable, it's okay, right? And but in this case, being shit being predictable was the right choice. Was the right fucking choice in this case because because Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland should be your main event. Period. Like I like what they do in the E with the man's uh part of King of the Ring. Right? Didn't see it coming. Being predictable. I mean, being non-predictable about it, and niggas might complain about it and bitch about it. But yes, yes, I like what they doing. Uh, per se, and the man's King of the Ring. Women's too, because I know Liv's not getting to the finals. All right, and if she is, she's not winning the finals. You know, so, but I like being predictable with AEW's and the only classic because the fact that Swerve and Will Ospreay are the right call, and I've been saying it since day one that was gonna be the match. Day one, right? So I'm okay with it, and Will Ospreay's gonna win as he should. And then either Kenny's gonna be MJF, which he was there last night. He didn't wrestle, um, but he was there last night. Either Kenny's gonna beat MJF or no, ain't no war. Or Will Ospreay is gonna beat him. You know, um, but AEW was okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like it wasn't a must see show. It wasn't elite. Point taken. But I'm gonna end the show with that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure you guys watch wrestling. Make sure you guys watch Defense. Make sure you guys watch New Breed. This is the High Gun with the High Gun podcast. Love you. God bless. I'm out.